What's happening, my brothers and sisters? Clench your butt cheeks, because what you're about to hear in this video is absolute bull squash, okay? And I mean it. Shout out to NewsNation. They're doing a wonderful job with this one and talking about it, bringing it to public live. But what the government is saying and doing, absolute, complete, utter bullcrap, okay? Like the video, share the video. Once again, we're talking about the ET, aliens, UFOs, and this is what's going on. Roll it.
Congress took immediate action-ish, right? They did pass legislation requiring the government to tell the public what it knows about UFOs, but then you get that little tricky piece in there about what's classified. So now the federal government has begun collecting all of its UFO documents to be made public. Really? Let's ask NewsNation special correspondent Ross Coulthart and investigative journalist, co-host of the Weaponized podcast, Jeremy Corbell. It's good to have you both, brothers. Thank you for being here. Ross, I am skeptical. What is the reason to believe that this is good news in terms of transparency?
Firstly, g'day, Chris. It's good news because this law change that came in December, it requires that all UAP records be passed across from every single government department. They're now legally required to hand over any records they've got that relate to unidentified anomalous phenomena and to hand them to the independent body, your National Archives, the American National Archives. And that's very, very important because the National Archives will make a decision, not those government departments, about what should remain classified. And more importantly, this new legislation also says that any records that were created 25 years ago or more, so let's say before 1999, there will be a presumption in many ways of release unless there's a very, very good national security reason that they not be released. And so that could potentially mean, for example, that we might see declassification of records that I know the Air Force is still holding on to about events that took place in the 1940s and 50s, like Roswell and the Aztec incident. And so we might see a possibility where they're forced by the National Archives to reveal documents that they've been sitting on for decades.
Yo, honestly, I 110% want to know what happened in like Roswell, because we had conflicting reports. In the very beginning, they were like, yeah, saucers, a saucer crash. Newspapers were also posting about it. They talked about it. They officially posted in the news as well, and everybody was going bonkers, right? And then they changed the story. They completely flipped the story, and they were like, it was just a balloon. It was just a balloon. It was just a balloon, right?
So I hear you. I want to believe, but as I pivot to Jeremy, when I hear National Archives, I hear another opportunity to cover things up with another mechanism. Do you feel the flavor of that skepticism?
I do. Look, I am optimistic, and like Ross, we want the same thing. We are both optimistic, but more important than being optimistic, we are fighting to make sure that we keep an eye on everything that's going on. But the reality is that classified UAP information, they're annexed, they're put to the side. The National Archives has almost a 0% chance of getting them and reviewing them properly because of national security. But if people like Ross and me, if we're on it and we keep our eye on them, we can force the issue. I'll give you
I think it's good for sure. I think people should be asking 110%, and we should not be like backing down. But let's be real though. Are they really gonna tell you everything about it? Probably not, right? They're probably they already are giving you the crumbs, like the breadcrumbs there, and it feels like that they're not gonna give you the most important news, right? And this is all about declassifying everything, but they're gonna keep the secret classified. They're not gonna tell you everything. It's like one of those things, right? You would hide your wives, right? I always tell you, hide your kids, hide your wives, right? Before watching these videos, you would hide your wives. If you're a wife watching, then hide your hubbies, okay? Like, let me just say that. Hide your hubbies, but you're gonna hide what's the most dearest to you, right? They're also doing the same right now. They're trying to hide it, man. Nah, honestly, bro, I think the conversation is good, but it's going literally nowhere. Jokes aside, it's going nowhere. Seriously, when you think about it, no offense and no disrespect to David Grusch. I hope he's speaking the truth. The way it seems like I believe that guy, right? Because he took oath. He's under oath, I should say, and he tried to do, I guess, if he's being real with it, right? If he's genuine with it, I hope he is. And if he is, and whatever he's doing, I respect that, right? But it's like we're going nowhere with it. Maybe this is gonna lead us to knowing and finding out the truth. Maybe like 10 years from now, 20 years from now, 50 years from now, or maybe when we're not around. Yeah, then okay, it's still good, but it's like, can a brother perhaps get to know the truth when a brother is alive, though? You feel what I mean, right? Because a lot of us might not be around, man. A brother just want to know the truth. Maybe some of you, a sister just want to know the truth as well.
Example, Chris, George Knapp and I tried. We notified Congress and the American public. We brought in hand to those hearings DIA documents. We brought them in our hands and we tried to submit them onto the congressional record. And that didn't happen, but we did try, and we did use in our official statements in Congress, when we put them in, we did tell them, we exposed a massive and extensive UAP archive that the DIA has in their possession. And the DIA is currently pretending not to have it.
Yeah.
I have seen these documents. I have personally seen them. They are not classified. Our Congress needs to look at what George Knapp and I submitted. They saw the physical documents when we brought some of them in, but now they are denying having them, the DIA. It's hard to deny something I've seen with my own eyes.
Of course. I mean, they're gonna deny your birth as well, you know what I mean, right? Yeah, they're gonna be like, oh, as though you never were born. I mean, it's crazy though. The secrecy has been absolutely insane, and it's ongoing for a century plus. I would closer to century, let's just say. But it's not as though like the topic is new. The topic is like ancient. Like, you know, there has been rumors, conspiracies for century plus. But like for the last multiple decades, like getting closer to a century right now. Dog, we need to know about this, man. They should reveal it right now.
What we see with the spy balloons, right? Now they're monitoring another one. Last year, it led to fighter jets shooting down several unidentified objects over the
That was a year ago, like holy crap, right? You guys remember that?
U.S. and Canada, no word on what they were. You know, when you combine the lack of advantage of one party over the other on this issue and just general apathy of things that don't benefit them directly, you got a lot of inertia working against you on this issue. What do you think breaks through it, Ross?
Well, I'm here in Washington, Chris, because I'm trying to find out what's really going on. Because as you say, there's not a lot happening publicly. But I've been meeting people on the Hill, and I've been talking to people in intelligence and defense. And I can tell you there is a bipartisan push still happening in Congress for the release of information. Politicians can smell a vote when they see one. And I can tell you they can see there is electorate interest, voter interest in getting this stuff out there. I am besieged with people giving me information. Yeah. And so I can tell you that there have been secret meetings in Congress, secret briefings in Congress, and there is a new initiative underway by a group called the New Paradigm Institute to basically try to get new legislation to force greater disclosure.
Look, let's hope it happens, Ross. Jeremy, we're all on the same.
We're all on the same page, but let's be real. Even if they disclose the information, like, they're not gonna tell you everything about it, right? But listen, I hope we get most of it, but I guess it's naive to think that they're gonna give you everything, guys. Like, that's not how mafia works, okay? Whatever they tell you, half of it is probably gonna be bullshit. The other half might be just nuts and burger, and there might be like 2% off it is gonna be decent. I know that's like still a bad mindset. It's a bad mindset. Like, you know, in a perfect world we would know everything, but it's like they're not gonna tell you everything. It's naive to think they will tell you everything. The way I guess I should, and I guess we all should, I mean, you are your own person, go about it the way you feel like is gonna be best for you. But the way I would like to go about it is that I want to be open to it, and let's see whatever comes out. And if it's good, then it's good. If it's bad, then it's bad, right? Like, we'll see what happens, man. Click on this video on the screen. This is the last episode that we've done, and we had a ton of clips in this one. You're gonna love it. Check it out, and I'll see you right there.